Hello and welcome everyone to the Serenity Gaming Wintersplit Week 3 Division 1 match between Hillerød Esport and Serenity Gaming Lynx. I'm Kaczka and today I will bring you the series with Milo.
Hello everyone.
So, we've got quite a series on our hands. We've got Hillerød, Lynx, both of these teams. Well, still pretty hype I would say. It's only week 3. But we actually have the players with us. We've got Knudsen and SRG. So, guys, are you with me here?
I am. Hello, everybody.
Yeah, I'm here too. Hello.
Alright, so I want to address you, Knudsen, first. So, you lost your match to Hydra 0 and 2 in week 1, and the match against Topaz that you were meant to play got moved. So that means that you still actually didn't get a win in the Division 1 yet. How does that affect your mentality going into the match today?
I mean, it's not like it made a huge difference, but I think that we have more time and room for practice. So, I mean, a little difference could help.
Alright, and I just want to ask you another question, because looking across the rift, your opponent is Woofer, and he has shown that he can get a really strong hold of the mid lane and play it really well. Do you feel like you can beat him and solo kill him?
I'm pretty confident that I can, yeah. My playstyle is pretty aggressive, so I think that I might have a chance. I mean, of course, if he calls for his jungler, it might be a 2v1, but I'm pretty confident, yeah.
So you are talking about the Lynx's jungler. Is there any player in particular that you think will be the hardest to deal with, or how are you looking to play against Lynx today? I mean, you don't need to say any secret strats, just generally your thoughts.
I mean, I feel like right now at the current meta, it's pretty much on bot lane. I mean, you could play aggressive carry top laners, but I feel like if you have the bot priority, it's gonna help a lot. So I'm pretty scared of their bot lane, but if we put our power and resources to our bot lane, it might grant us our lead.
Alright, you talked about the bot lane. I just want to quickly jump to you, SRG. Are you here? You're muted?
Yeah.
Alright, yes, you are. So, now talking a little bit about Lynx. You lost to Topaz, then you managed to pull off a 2-win against Draco. What do you feel like your chances are today against Hillerød?
I think it's pretty good actually, because last time we scrimmed against them, we was pretty new to play against, play as a team, and we was close to beat them in one game. So I would say we're pretty confident to go into these games, but it will be hard. So.
Alright. Well, one of the picks that we've seen from you mostly in the Division Deciders is the Pike. I'm just interested, is that your best champion, or do you have something more to show us? Just a personal question.
Actually, Pike is not my best champion, but I will not say what my best champion is. I can play a lot, but yeah.
Alright. And I ask Knudsen the same question. Who are you looking at in the Hillerød? Who will be, do you think, the hardest player to go up against?
Yeah, I don't really know that actually. We respect them all, so I think they're already good players. But if we play with our cards right, we can beat them. So we respect them, but not fear them. So.
Alright, well, this is now a general question, but I will address it to you, Knudsen, first. So, we're already in week 3. Where do you think Hillerød will finish in the Division 1 in the first half of the split?
I mean, we started off in week 1 pretty badly. We didn't play as well as we thought we would, but I think if you want to focus and want to do better, we can surely get at least on the higher side.
Alright, SRG, how about you? Where do you think Lynx is going to finish?
I think we are pretty confident to play in top 4.
Alright, well, just before I let you go, I just want to ask you, do you have any words to each other before this match?
Alright, I'm a start out and be the good player and say good luck, but I might have to take the trophy right here.
Let's see about that, but good luck and have a good game.
Alright then, thank you for coming. I will now let you get back to your teams to prepare for this match ahead of you, and good luck and see you on the Rift.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Alright, so Milo, we heard both of them say they both want to finish high, and they do seem to be very respectful of each other.
Yeah, it's very respectful players we got in today. Seems like there are a lot of like they don't underestimate each other at all. Clearly, both teams respect the players of the other team a lot, and I think it's gonna be evident in today's game. But who knows? Like he did say himself, Knudsen, he plays aggressive mid laners, which can bite him in the ass, obviously. He talked about the jungler in Professor Genki might be coming in. So, but yeah, it's going to be interesting. They didn't want to give too much away, obviously.
Yeah, giving your shots away in front of your opponent and on stream might not be the best idea, I guess. One thing I also picked up on, Knudsen, when I asked him about if the fact that they lost the first match and didn't play the second one affected them at all, he literally didn't even, it didn't look like it was at all, because he said that it's a good thing they got a break. So mentality-wise, Hillerød look very, very strong, and Lynx are also coming off a 2-1 win. So how do you think the momentum could play out in this game, if it will at all?
Well, they both definitely seem confident in being able to take this match. As we heard from SRG, they scrimped against each other before, where it was very evident what he said, that Hillerød won, but who knows, like I said, that's a long time ago. So I honestly do believe this can go either way, and it does seem like neither of them are too much affected of last week. It seems like both of them has the mentality that this is a new game, it's a new team, just gonna have a fresh mentality towards it.
That does seem to be the case right now, and I just now want to ask you, because both of the players said very general answers. What lane are we focusing in this match? Where the action will happen? What do you think?
I gotta focus on that mid lane. We have Knudsen, who said himself plays aggressive mid laners. We have Woofer, who's shown to play aggressive mid laners. I believe that's where we're gonna see the action. They're gonna go so much at each other's throats. SRG is known for roaming mid lane a lot, so he's probably gonna come in there trying to take out Knudsen. We do know that Hillerød will be running with Hidden Shadow in the first game as their jungler, who is gonna play some aggressive junglers and go in and gank mid lane probably. So I do believe mid lane is the big focus of this game.
Yeah, it could definitely be the focus. You said that the Hillerød jungler Hidden Shadow is going to play aggressive, but Genki also likes to play these early game junglers, so jungle could be a matchup we could look at.
I definitely... so Genki has this play style. He either plays really aggressively in the case that he ganks a lot, or he invades a lot, but he does play really aggressively as a jungler. I think we'll see that coming out. I think we'll see him focusing either on the Woofer in the mid lane, or he could actually focus on Flutter Wonder. Flutter Wonder has played these very aggressive top laners. We saw in the division starters, Urgot was his go-to champion. He just ran over people with his Urgot. And I'm really curious to see if we're gonna see that again, since Nunki plays a lot of the same champions as Flutter Wonder.
And having a shared champion pool could definitely be both a good and a bad thing, but what's your take in terms of drafting? How could that affect both of the teams' drafts? The fact that both of their top laners play pretty much the same champions, apart from maybe a few exceptions.
I think that we're not gonna see a lot of target bans towards top lane. I think we're gonna see the main, I don't want to call them OP, but you know, the main power picks, we're gonna see them removed. We're probably gonna see the Urgot get removed. Might see the Aatrox, as we've seen that both Woofer and Flutter Wonder can play it. Nunki also showed he can play, also has it on his Mastery. So I think we're gonna see the power picks removed, but I don't think there's gonna be too much focus on the top lane, as if you start banning out the enemy top laner, you're banning out your own top laner.
Yeah, that is one thing we could look at. Another matchup I just want to quickly have a look at before we might move on to something else is the bot lane. Knudsen actually said that this meta revolves around bot lane. And I mean, what do you expect from both of these bot laners? Or how will these bot lanes likely play out? How can the team play through their bot lane?
Well, it's interesting because, so first of all, the bot lane from Lynx is Miss and SRG. They're very known for letting just Miss hold the wave. He has really good wave control. So just letting him hold the wave, holding 1v2, and then letting SRG roam around the map. So I don't think that's where Lynx is going to put their focus. But if Hillerød is going to put their focus there, it's going to be really interesting because, first of all, their support, Tauber, we haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen him play yet at all. So that's going to be really interesting to see him play. And Shim is a really versatile support or AD carry who plays really well. So I think it's all up to whether Hillerød can punish the side of Lynx for this roaming SRG, or if SRG is actually going to decide to just stay in the lane and go for the 2v2.
He did say that Pyke is not his strongest champion. He said he will not reveal it on the pre-show. I'm curious to see if he will reveal it in the pick and ban phase. However, right now, we talked about the team comps. We could also talk a little bit about the teams so far in this split. Of course, Hillerød didn't really play a lot, at least not in the Wintersplit. But we said they are coming off a 0-2 start, and this match, I feel like it could be the match that they try to turn the split around from the 0-2 week 1.
I think even though it doesn't affect them too much in what we could hear, I think a win would affect them a lot here. I think they definitely want to come off with a win now because, as you said, they lost the first week, they didn't get to play the second week. They need something positive right now. And I definitely believe that a 2-0 win against Lynx could do it. I don't see the match going to 2-0. I see it going to 2-1, and I'm not sure what side at all. But I definitely do believe we'll get a 3-game series.
Alright, on the other side, you've got Lynx, who lost their game 1 match. The week 1 match. Week 2, they managed to get the win against Jake. Unfortunately, that game was unstreamed, but the fact that they managed to get a 3-game series definitely says a lot. So do you think the momentum for Lynx could carry into this series?
I think that getting that 2-1, I think was important for Lynx. Of course, they would have liked the 2-0, as the 2-0 is always better. You want to get the 3 points, not the 2 points. But I do definitely believe that getting a win off, especially when you're coming from the division deciders, when you're in the division deciders, you're basically getting told as a team that we're not sure if you belong in Division 1. You gotta prove that. They proved they belong in Division 1, and now they proved it even more with winning against Draco. And if they can take a game off Hillerød, and if they can even win the series against Hillerød, they're definitely proving that they deserve this spot.
And yeah, this is a very real possibility. I feel like maybe before a few games that we've seen on paper, you would see Hillerød being much stronger than Lynx. However, from what we've seen so far in pretty much nearly every single match, matches are not as binary as they can look on paper. We saw Hillerød getting 0-2 by Hydra, and even though, yeah, it happened, pretty much everyone expected a 2-1. We saw many other games also go into the directions we did not expect. So Lynx, if they can find the win today, even if they can find a single game win, but if they can find the series win, and they're making a really big statement moving forward. And we talked a lot about momentum and how that translates, and it will surely help them.
Yeah, it will. I'm really looking forward. I'm just looking forward to seeing the whole draft in itself. We're having players here who, a lot of them share a lot of the same champion pools. We're seeing both strongers like playing aggressively, both top laners like playing aggressively, both mid laners like playing aggressively. Like, we can see a lot of them clashing. So that's gonna be so interesting to see with like whether or not it's gonna work out. Like, what are you gonna ban against this? We can ban the power picks, of course, but are we gonna hit 10 power picks, or are we gonna more target ban specific people? I'm really curious to see that.
This is an interesting idea, and And I feel like it has been pretty much the theme throughout the winter split so far. Do you choose to ban the power picks or do you choose to ban the comfort picks? There are ups and downs of both of the choices. I believe that we are just minutes away from the champion select, so I'm not even gonna ask you this question because I don't think it is possible to predict whether they're gonna pick, whether they're gonna ban the comforts or the power picks. But what do you think are the advantages to banning either?
Well, we're gonna see. We're getting into the ban phase, the pick and ban phase right now. But just to talk a little about it whilst we're taking care of the bans. Okay, they're removing the Morgana. That's definitely not a power pick we've seen. Morgana's a strong champion. She has that shield, but it's not a power pick. It's going so fast back and forth. We're seeing the Saya ban already. We talked about that. Shim is a versatile AD carry, but Saya is definitely one has had a showing on.
Yeah, Braum is targeted against Yatajai now. A lot of support bans, I guess. The point that we said about Yatajai liking to roam and if he will be forced on a support in bot lane. If you remove these two supports already, which are Braum is actually pretty good at just staying in bot lane and denying a lot of plays, this could potentially signal Hillerød trying to play through that bot lane, and Lynx they're reading it and banning 2 AD carries already.
Yeah, I think definitely Hillerød want to play through the bot lane, and Lynx knows that and want to try and remove that. But it also just seems like with the Morgana ban, with the Braum ban, Hillerød is probably going for a hard engage comp. Or not, because that is 2 champions that counter that so hard. We did see that Aurelia getting banned. We had Aurelia is a really scary champion and did kind of expect that ban. Victor's already also getting removed. So we are seeing some power picks removed. We are seeing some target banning towards specific people.
Kai'Sa will be the first pick though. Shim is going to pick that one up. Definitely a very safe AD carry. However, already Sivir picked for Mess paired up with the Alistar, so that is a very different face of the bot lane from what we've seen from Lynx so far.
Yeah, but I can see it work. Sivir has this wave clear, so she, again, Mess can hold the lane while Sanjay roams on the Alistar if he wants. Because Sivir has this amazing wave clear. We are seeing Xin Zhao, most popular champion in this whole split so far, getting picked up from Hillerød. Which, once again, aggressive. Aggressive, aggressive, aggressive.
Looks
and
like
the Kai'Sa Thresh, maybe? Which is a really aggressive lane as well. And it does definitely do signal this playing through bot lane, as we talked about. I do believe they want to try and say, Serja, if you roam, we'll punish you for it. We'll take out Mess while you're roaming.
But that is a blank for Woofer. So this guy likes to play assassins, he likes to be in your face and is already going to pick the LeBlanc. That does leave Lynx open to try and ban out any potential counters, so we're going to have to see Kassadin already removed from the board.
Yeah, so Hillerød will probably try and counterpick this LeBlanc. I do believe Lynx was probably saving their last pick for the top laner. I think they want to try and win through Flutter Wonder maybe. And they do probably feel pretty safe in Woofer under LeBlanc in the mid lane. So it's definitely going to be interesting. But yeah, we are seeing the casting removed as a counter to LeBlanc.
Yeah, now Hillerød, they have the option of banning either the junglers or the top lanes. They decide to ban out the Ornn, so it looks like it might be the top lane pinch, although, you know, they can spend their second ban onto the jungler Lynx. I think it's very likely they're looking for another mid lane ban, unless although they decide to maybe remove some top laners. We'll see.
I agree with the mid lane ban. Like, that would make sense. They blind pick this LeBlanc. They don't want to get Woofer, like, make Woofer lose the mid lane. Will be the Lissandra, who's a flex pick on both lanes, to be honest, and can shut down the LeBlanc very hard with the ultimate.
Now the last ban for Hillerød is just coming through, but Lynx are there trying to set up Woofer very, very well. They will be also probably looking for a potential early ganking jungler, so I would expect Hillerød to try and ban out something like maybe the Urgot, just trying to pinch Flutter Wonder.
They are removing that Urgot from Flutter Wonder. As we talked about, he did play it all the time in Division Deciders. Urgot is a strong champion, and Flutter Wonder definitely shows that he has control over it and knows how to play it. So it's gonna be interesting. Ooh, they're picking the Aatrox for him. So they're actually saving the last pick for the jungler.
Unless it's a jungle Aatrox.
Unless it's a jungle Aatrox or jungle Alistar, it has been seen before. But I do believe they're saving it for a jungler, so which means they'll probably want to say, we want to see your whole team and we're gonna counter it with one single champion, our jungler. Oh, it is the Poppy pickup for the top lane.
I feel like Poppy though makes quite a lot of sense with this steadfast presence against Alistar, LeBlanc, and Aatrox. Pair that with Thresh, you've got so much denial to any kind of engage, and running the comp off with a potential Orianna. Now, however, we're going to see if it will have to pick. Could set up Hillerød for a very good kite style of composition, although I'm not sure how Xin Zhao would fit into that one.
And it is, as I talked about at the start of this banning phase, it is the engage comp. We're having the X2 picking up the Syndra and not the Orianna. Just little trick there in the last second, just to tease with us. But it's still a hard engage, like pretty hard engage comp. You have the Thresh to engage, you have the Poppy to engage, you have the Xin Zhao to engage, the Syndra cat damage, the Kaiser burst. Like there's so much chance to just engage onto Lynx. But Lynx has the Sivir with the ultimate, has the Alistar to deny engage. They have so much, and they are going for this hyper-aggressive jungler and Graves, as we would expect.
Alright, so Graves versus Xin Zhao in the jungle, definitely an interesting matchup, but I just want to look at the teams as a whole before we'll jump into a short break. What are they looking for in this game one? How do they win the game?
They gotta play through their respective lanes. They know what lanes they're playing for. Hillerød playing through the bot lane, Lynx very much playing through the mid lane and top lane. They gotta play to their strengths.
Alright then. Anything else that you think that is interesting to pick up on? Before we'll just run into a short break?
I think we should just go to the short break right now, and we will be right back when we get into the games.
See you then. Alright, hello and welcome back everyone. I just got a little oof there. We're back for game 1 between Hillerød Esport and Serenity Gaming Lyra. Welcome back, Milo.
Yes, thank you. Let's get into the game. Oh, we're actually seeing aggressive early on.
Oh yeah, flash forward from Tower actually landing the hook. I'm not sure how I'm sequence, but Mess drops down for first blood. Nonkey picking up the kill.
Yeah. So we're just seeing that Serenity Gaming Lyra or Lynx already having problems.
Yeah, and Hillerød playing the early game very efficiently now. Another pick might be on the cards and Xiatajai flashes away from the hook. But that is a great early game start for the side of Hillerød.
Yeah. So yeah, we're already seeing the early aggression from Hillerød, which is what we expected from them. They are getting on to Mess really early on, who is a really hard scaling champion. And I think Hillerød knows this, that if they're going to the scaling, it's going to be a more difficult game for them. So they just want to get so aggressive early on. We're actually seeing Hidden Shadows moving down with the bot lane as he's taking this red.
Bot lane is one of the potential lanes that Hillerød can play through, so it would definitely make a lot of sense for him to try and make something happen, but can they actually do it on level 1? No flash on Xiatajai, Hex flash forward for Tower. He does find the auto attack, Zizar goes in with the audition charge, hook landing onto Xiatajai. There is nothing he can do, Shim picks up the kill.
Yeah, so they're just hammering on the bot lane. They are definitely doing as Knudsen promised us they would. They're playing through this bot lane so much. Genki is punishing by going to the top to the jungle of Hidden Shadow, but Hidden Shadow knows that and just goes and continues taking his bot jungle then.
And really well played from Tower, trying to set up these kills, but we're only 2 minutes in, so I just want to take a broader look at this game and some other places we might focus on, because one thing we actually skipped due to all this action is the mid lane matchup. Woofer on the Kali versus Knudsen on the Syndra. I just stopped here because Tower was going for something once again.
Well, yeah, so we did expect a lot of the mid lane matchup to be what's going on, but it's actually all happening in bot lane right now. The Woofer and Knudsen isn't doing much mid lane, they're just farming, trying to hit those small power spikes where they can begin and just take them out so hard. Meanwhile, Tower's just going again and again and again to keep trying to force something in the bot lane. Because Mess and Xiatajai is already so far behind, they can already not take these fights.
Mess can't even really take any CS. He's very far behind, only being able to pick up 3 of the farms since the beginning of the game. He is on the silver though, however, Nonkey in the top lane, nearly 1v1ing Flutter Wonder. He has to flash away, both flashes expended, but Flutter Wonder punished a lot. Now Hex Rush on Tower going in on the Thresh, Flay landing onto Mess. Xiatajai will try to zoom him away. But if you want to see, actually Professor Genki goes in for the gank in the top lane. No flash on Nonkey, so for a while I will just stop there. Nonkey tries to find the kill onto Flutter Wonder though. He's so strong on the Poppy that they can't even fully commit. Nonkey, he will try to get away. Genki is running very low, flash forward, and he actually gets 1 kill and nearly gets the other. Nonkey, just chill, man. He actually gets the double kill Flutter Wonder, making a move. Xiatajai still level 1 on the Alistar. Now he picks up the kill onto Tower, slightly overcommitted. Now Hidden Shadow will not drop a soul. Shim trying to find the damage in the bot lane dive. Mess throwing out the boomerang blade. Shim not picking up the aggro until now. Flash forward, flashes away. Shim still picks up the kill. He's looking for a second one. No mana, but Xiatajai has no flash, no ignite. He's all but set to fall. Headbutt away to just try and buy some more time. However, Hidden Shadow is closing in, so this is just a matter of time before he gets killed. So tell me, what is even happening so far?
The early game aggression. Like, we talked about that this would happen, and they're really hammering it home. When they heard early game aggression, they were like, okay, so how many seconds of the game do you want us not to fight? And the answer was basically 0. They're fighting every second this game, and we're getting no break from it.
Ooh, Genki has to flash away. That's another flash burned. Tower on this Thresh. He has been playing so well so far. 5 minutes 0-1-4, making his AD carry already get the pickaxe and the recurve bow at 5 minutes. Yeah. This is honestly insane. When you think about how much damage Shim on this Kaiser right now has, I'm not even sure if Mess and Zyatejai can't really do a lot now. In the top side, Nonki takes the audacious heroic charge into the wall. Flatterone answering with the Infernal Chains, but he just does not have enough damage on the Aatrox. Nonki and the Poppy winning that trade really hard.
So right now, I think Lynx, they first try to play the scaling game, and we're seeing that Hillerød do not agree with that game plan. They don't want to give them their game plan. But I honestly don't see Lynx go for anything else.
He goes in with the heroic charge, finds the Keeper's Verdict into the kill. Now Genki is up in the top lane. He should pick up that kill. Donkey trying to run away, but it is the shutdown traded.
Yeah, and well, we're just seeing Hidden Shadows just in the bot lane, just casually taking this dragon. There's nothing much Lynx can do about it. They don't even have the vision for it. And Shim is so far ahead. Like, they really gotta respect Shim right now.
Mess burning the spell shield just out of respect for a potential Void Seeker, but Hidden Shadow is once again the bot lane. Hook actually landing onto Mess. Flay back, he should be taken out. Shim picks up the kill, is on a rampage right now.
Tauber is just hitting hooks upon hooks upon hooks. And there's nothing Mess and SRG can do right now. They are just getting focused so hard. And it is really clear that Hillerød is just wanting to say, we win the lane, we win the game. They're actually already going for this early tower.
The turret is already falling below 50% HP. Looking at the state of the wave, they might not be able to take it now, but this is a dangerously low bot lane turret. And with the amount of pressure that Hidden Shadow has been committing down in this bot side, it's only a matter of time before that turret falls down.
Yeah, and we are seeing Mess is so far behind on everything, on kills, on farm. Like, he doesn't get to do anything right now. He just gotta hope that this gets to full items and that he can be a little more useful than Shim.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you how Lynx try and stop that snowball, but you just answered this question. They need to wait now. Knudsen in the mid lane actually gets chained up. Ignite is down. Unleashed power doing so much damage in return, and Woofer unable to pick up the kill.
Both mid laners still staying around. Yeah, they're just backing off now, at least. We are seeing Knudsen backing off. Woofer is playing this dangerously. He does have the corrupting potion, just trying to heal himself back up. But he has no idea where Hidden Shadow is. He has no idea where Tauber is. He has no idea where anyone pretty much but Shim is right now. So he's playing this a dangerous game.
Yeah, the turret bot lane has been already taken. 3000 gold at 8 minutes, and we are already seeing the swap coming in from Hillerød. Ginsu's Rage Blade has been completed on Kai'Sa at 8 minutes. I just want you all to let that thought sink in. Zyatejai is level 3, and Shim has the Ginsu's Rage Blade completed already. Hillerød are so insanely ahead that Lynx can only try to pray and scale in order to get back in this game.
Honestly, at this point, we just gotta start thinking about what went wrong for our early game and how can we change that in game 2. Because at this point, there's always a way to come back, of course, but it does look very, very grim for the side of Lynx right now.
And with how well Hillerød have been playing around the lead they created, it just does not look like there is a lot that Lynx can do. Finding picks is what they need to rely on now. Genki versus Hidden Shadow in the jungle, but Genki is already 100 HP. Collateral damage over the wall, followed with the flash, and Hidden Shadow picks up the kill. Meanwhile, Flatterone 1v3 under the turret. 1v4 nearly finds the kill on the ship. Actually does find it, but it is the double kill going in for the Hidden Shadow, and it will be the turret as well.
Yeah. Hillerød is already showing now that they are the superior team, at least in the early game, and they're just capitalizing on it so well. They're playing around the map, and they're just... Basically, Professor Genki it's not his jungle anymore. Hidden Shadow said, I got my lead in your lanes, and now I'm getting my lead in your jungle. And we're seeing that Shim, so much damage. And we're actually seeing Nonki can actually push up this bot lane 1 versus 2 and have no problems. He's also so far ahead. He's 3 levels ahead of Mess right now.
It just does not care at all on the Poppy. He has the shield, has the boots, has the Bummy Cinder. And this game feels so insane because we're only 10 minutes in. And the leads are enormous. A 40 CS lead in the top lane, plus some kills for the side of Nonki. A 30 CS in the bot lane, and 4 kills for the side of Shim. I dare look at the gold, and Shim has nearly the double the gold of Mess.
Like, even in mid lane, that's been a fairly even mid lane, which hasn't had big problems. We're still seeing a 10k goal or a 10 minute lead from Knudsen.
Now Xiatajai actually dropping very low, keepers waiting. Nonki nearly finding the 1v1 kill, the 1v2 kill, I should say. Xiatajai just barely surviving. Flash forward from Nonki, Xiatajai respect, flashes away. Now Nonki looks to get run down 1v3, but the Herald will be sound in the mid lane. Nonki has no flash available. Tower is there with the Dark Passage, will actually get him to safety, and Nonki gets nearly the 1v3 kill, gets out alive, whilst the rest of his team gets the mid lane turret.
And I want to point out, he nearly got this 1v3 kill, and Mess still used his heal, Saja still used the Ignite. And they still couldn't take him out.
That's just insane. Honestly, Hillerød are showing that game against Hydra. That's nothing to do
Is
with
this
how
even
they
the same team as the one we saw against Hydra?
It does look very, very different, and it pretty much is the same team. So, honestly, Hillerød just turning around so quickly, showing that they are dominant. 5k goal lead at 12 minutes. It's only 12 minutes. I feel like it should be around 20 already. Looking at the items as well, Kai'Sa, long time ago completed the King's Rage Break, now finished it up with the boots, working towards her second item, only what I can presume will be the Stone Razor. The Warrior Enchant completed on both junglers at least, and Knudsen is already looking for Eluden's Echo. Whereas if you look on the other side, yes, Woofer has got the Lost Chapter, yes, Flutter Wonder has got the Yumus Ghost Blade. However, it's not even nearly as close.
No, and we are still seeing this top lane. Nonki is double CS, a Flutter Wonder. He has nothing he can do. The only CS lead they have is in the jungle. But that doesn't matter, because Hidden Shadow has two kills and 2 assists, whereas Genki has 1 kill, 1 assist, and died 2 times. Problem is, Genki hasn't been able to have the same impact as Hidden Shadow has had, because Genki's lanes are not as early game oriented as we have on the sides of Hillerød. So it's a really difficult game for Lynx, especially because they don't play an early game oriented team comp, but they cannot get beaten this much early game. That is a big no-no for this team.
Yeah, on the hand has been useful Mess trying to force anything, but Hillerød, they're just laughing at their faces and disengaging. They're saying, you cannot do anything to us. You try to engage, we'll just go back, and Hidden Shadow will already look at the style, but now he might find himself in some trouble. Goes in onto Professor Genki, pops the ultimate, but Woofer picks up the crucial shutdown.
And that is actually so important, especially that it gets onto Woofer, because Woofer is the last hope right now. They just need Woofer to have enough damage to just stall this game for long enough right now. And it's gonna be so difficult for them.
Flutter Wonder gets nearly solo killed by Nonki. Now Xiatajai comes in for the help. Shim has landed the Void Seeker, does not follow it up with the Killer Instinct. They will just take the turret, and Hillerød, they are looking at their 5th turret by 15 minutes. These guys just took the early snowball, just pushed it to the limit pretty much. With only 14 minutes in the game, they hold a nearly 7k gold advantage. And I want to praise Hillerød as a team for their early game playmaking, but also Taber on this stretch. He stepped up in the early game, especially finding the pick, finding the flash, and then with Hidden Shadow finding the kill once again on Xiatajai and just snowballing it since.
Yeah, so this is the first time we see Taber, and he is doing an amazing job on this Thresh. He showed early game that he can be aggressive. We did see that Taber likes playing a lot of Rakan, but Desire did get banned, and I don't believe they're gonna go for it without Desire being open. But his Thresh is also just amazing, and he is really showing that this is his game. He deserves to play amongst these guys, and maybe that is what they needed. Maybe that's why Hillerød is looking so different. They needed this fresh breath.
Yeah, now Hidden Shadow going on to Genki, flash away, flashed, he followed up. Hidden Shadow picks up an easy 1v1 kill in the jungle. Woofer on the LeBlanc trying to do anything, but just will not amount to much at all.
No, there's not much they can do right now. Like, We are just seeing Lynx trying to play a game of like catch up, and they just can't right now. They don't get the opportunity to catch up at all. To Hillerød is giving them nothing.
The only thing that went for Lynx in the past 10 minutes was that one pick they found onto Hidden Shadow. Apart from that, Hillerød have been playing nearly flawless. They took their 6th tower, only the inhibitor turrets are left at 16 minutes. They are looking at that bot lane inhibitor, and as you said, Lynx, they really need a miracle, and they need to stall this game for such a long time before they can have a real chance at coming back.
Not only are have they just picked up their 6th tower, their own towers. The one who's dropped the lowest is the mid lane tower, and that's only lost about 600 health.
That's insane. Now, Woofer, he's looking for the picks. He knows that he needs to find that pick. Doesn't matter how unlikely it is. He needs to find it if they want to have a shot in this game at all. Now, actually, Death Sentence landing onto Genki. He gets bursted down immediately. Shim picking up the kill. The Infernal Chain is landing onto Tower, but will not result in anything at all. Hillerød will take the pick and they will resume the siege. Oh, that's a great Death Sentence landing onto Woofer. Unleashed Power does not get the kill, but Flash and Heal burned.
So they are just, again, Tower's just getting these hooks after hooks. I don't think we've seen him miss, like, what, 2 hooks maybe?
This Thresh is nearly as good. I dare say it's as good as Vodka's in Division Deciders. These guys' hooks are so much on point. 0, 1, and 7 on the champion right now, and actually I do get flashbacks to that same game that Lyra played against. I actually don't remember who, but now back into the action. The turret has been taken. Stun landed onto Ziatajar, but Hillerød will decide they want to take it slightly slower, just use the gold they accumulated, buy their items, take the jungle, take the vision, and then come back stronger, breaking the inhibitor turret already.
So, you know when most games say we're going to play the early game, they're going to win by maybe 24, 25. Hillerød has taken this to a whole nother level of saying early game. When they say early game, they mean we're gonna win this by minute 5, and the rest of the time is pretty much just filler time. They had played... We expected them to play aggressively. We expected both teams to play aggressive, because that is their playstyle. Hillerød just, you know, turned it up to 11 on that.
I think we are running out of the metaverse just to say how far ahead Hillerød are right now, because I don't think even the numbers can portray that. That is a 10k goal lead at 18 minutes, and as amazing as that might sound, I'm pretty sure nearly everyone is already bored with me just spewing out these numbers for minutes and gold advantages. But that is the name of the game. We have 2 items on Kai'Sa, 2 items on Poppy, 2 items on Xin Zhao. Everyone is so insanely ahead of their counterpart. Pretty much 1 item ahead across the board, with maybe a few irregularities if you pay close enough attention. And Hillerød are just looking like, how do they try to close it out as cleanly as possible?
Yeah. Do you believe Lynx still has some trust in this game that they can turn around, or are they just looking for next game already? Are they just thinking about how they're improving next game?
I think at this point you kind of need to do... You need to obviously do both. But at this point I'm pretty sure that Lynx are already trying to think, alright guys, what exactly went wrong? Because we saw Taber on Thresh finding the pigs, but only the teams really know what went wrong within the team, why it happened. So, yes, Lynx, if somehow Mess can just wave clear everything on that Sivir for next, I don't know, 15 minutes, then they have a chance. But Hillerød, they're not looking like they want to slow down at all.
Are we gonna see a respect ban onto the Thresh next game, you believe?
Could be an option. I'm pretty sure it's a good choice, but it's obviously up to Lynx to decide what they thought was the biggest option. You know, maybe they thought that, yeah, Thresh got the pigs, but it maybe was the Xin Zhao that actually got the snowball rolling, or maybe it was the Shim's Kai'Sa that actually meant that they are so far behind right now. So there are so many directions in which Lynx can take the draft next game. I believe that it's all but to see. However, right now we're in this game. Baron is 10 seconds away from spawning. Lynx are trying to regain division control in their own jungle.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we are just seeing Nunki is just down, split pushing. They have sent Flutterwater down to deal with him, but I don't believe Flutterwater can actually do that much against him right now. I think he's just gonna try and hold. Nunki does respect him enough to just back off and give it to him. Nunki will actually move in and take the blue buff, it looks like. But yeah, we're just seeing that Hillerød are just setting up around this Baron, putting Nunkey down the bottom 2 split push.
Oh, Woofer going in for the assassination onto Shim, does not getting death sentence. Will find him Hidden Shadow picking up the kill. Now Genki is trying to run away. Hidden Shadow does find the knock-up. Teleport is coming in from Flatter Wonder. Death sentence from Tabor immediately stuns him down. He pops the ward and is popped right into it immediately. Tabor on the thresh tries to fight for the hook, does not find it. Flatter Wonder flash over the wall. Hidden Shadow tries to follow it up. Audacious Charge should be available just soon enough. Mess uses on the hand to try and get his team away. Not sure if it got them the movement speed buff, but Lynx get out alive relatively intact.
Will just be Hillerød turning to Baron, Nunkey still in the bot lane, so he still has the teleport.
Yeah, and right now Nunkey, he's just so damn strong right now. Honestly, it's just insane. Like, not many people can do anything now. Genki just gets bursted down, cannot even try to attempt the Dynasty. Xiadajai will also die for his overextension. Meanwhile, Nunkey just goes 1v2 in the bot lane. Flatter Wonder is already dead. Woofer tries to go in for the Baron, actually does not get it. It is the double kill for the Shim. And Killer will get the Baron.
So that was crazy, everything just went on. Hillerød showed, once again, how dominant they are. Doesn't matter who you are, they'll take you out. And Nunkey on this Poppy is... I don't think we've pointed out enough on Nunkey and the Poppy. Because Nunkey's actually been doing really well in this Poppy. He's just mostly been side lanes. We did point it out with the 1v2. But I do kind of have to close off this thought, because this will probably be the game for Hillerød.
Yeah, it does look like so. Mess gets immediately bursted down, and Zhonya's from Shim just to try not insult to injury. You cannot touch me. The second Nexus turret has fallen. Hillerød, they're just trying to play with Lynx, feels like at this point. Woofer drops down to Nunkey. Genki follows up Shim, picking up the view. Flatter Wonder is down. Xiadajai, the only person alive. Hillerød paving up their stats, and they will take a very, very clean stomp over Lynx in game 1.
Yeah. So that was a very one-sided game 1, I would say. I think we are gonna see... It's not that I think they don't respect them, but I think we're gonna see more respect from Lynx this time. Gonna play more defensively, maybe, because Hillerød definitely just showed that early game is theirs. Like, they don't share that.
Yeah, and we've seen just everything click for Hillerød in this game. They got nearly exactly what they wanted from this early game. Even if you want to be picky, it will be really hard to think what did they not get out of this game right now. And my question is, how do Lynx try to change coming into game 2?
Well, what they gotta do is they gotta decide: are we gonna try and contest this early game aggression? Or are we going to be even more defensive in our picks? Are we going to go really defensive picks and just play from defensive farm lanes? And how are we going to counter Hillerød in countering that? Because we saw that the Sensao pick worked for them. He went hyper aggressive. And just like already level 2 he came bot lane, and Pauber on this Thresh pick also didn't allow, like, he basically said to them, you're not allowed to play passive, even if you want to. So they gotta think more towards their ban phase, I believe. They gotta think, okay, how do we ban better so they can't counter the early game that hard? Or they're gonna say, okay, we're gonna ban so we can get the early game.
And one question just keeps staying on my mind. Will Lynx tilt, or will they decide to see, alright, we know exactly what went wrong, we know how to try and fix this, and we'll just go into game 2 with a clear mind? Because momentum has been something that we saw very clearly so far develop this split.
I think Lynx will keep a clear head. These players are good players. They played against Topaz week 1, where basically the same thing happened. They lost the game so fast, and then they had to go into another game. So they are, I wouldn't say used to it, because you're never going to get used to losing. You don't want to get used to losing. That's just human nature. But I believe that they know how to control it.
Alright, well, we are just going to jump into a short break before the next game to see if Lynx can take us to game 3, or if Hillerød will seal the deal and take the O today. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome back. We are going into the champ select of the game 2 between Lynx and Hillerød. The stream is wrong. Hillerød did win the game 1. However, we're now going to see if Lynx can get anything back. Banning this Zaya once again, Morgana from Hillerød, but we already see a Zinzao ban this game.
Yeah, they had to respect.
Are you here? Alright, well, I'm not sure if that's my internet or yours.
It looks like we have lost Milo just for temporary reasons,
right.
So Casca, we're just gonna have to work with you for now. So what's going on with these picks?
Right now nothing with the picks, but with the bans we see this in Zao, Tristana banned away, Victor Brom, Hillerød pretty much runs back their last game's phase 1 bans, slightly in a different order. Lynx, they decided that Buffer on the LeBlanc was what they wanted. They lock it in first pick, but that does leave the Irelia open for Hillerød if they decide to pick that. So I'm still interested to see what lane it will go to. Lissandra as well, so that looks like some very strong solo lane power picks, especially that this meta solo lanes seem to also be fairly strong, as well as the bot lane. Well, Milo, do we have you back?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Alright, so I just talked about how Lynx, they get the LeBlanc first, Hillerød instead get two very strong solo lane power picks, Irelia and Lissandra. Now we see Lynx having the Sivir.
Are they gonna go for the Sivir? They are going for the Sivir once again. This is interesting. So we saw them getting the Irelia and the Lissandra. Sivir is a strong AD carry against those, to be honest, because Sivir has the spell shield, has a little more than normal AD carries, but they let Lissandra be open again, and then they first picked the LeBlanc. This means that it's probably going to be an Aurelia top and Lissandra mid, in my guess, because it's such a hard matchup for LeBlanc.
Pyke being hovered for the Hillerød. Talbot showed he's very good on the Thresh. If he decides to go for the Pyke, we'll have to see. It is the Pyke, so I picked champion once again.
Yeah, meanwhile we're seeing on the side of Lynx, they're going for the same comp. They haven't changed anything so far as we've seen, which I think is interesting. I would, like, when you lose, and when you lose that badly, which, let's be honest, they did, you would want to change something normally. But obviously Lynx feels confident in this, and they want to just want to prove that it can work if they get to do what they want.
Yeah, that composition definitely is not the weakest one. Last game it just didn't really go well in at level 1. So I assume that Lynx just said, alright, it wasn't the composition, we just played it bad. So this game they decided to go for the same thing and hope, probably make it work better. However, Hillerød are playing a slightly different composition this time compared to what they had previously.
But Hillerød are getting those power picks, getting the Irelia, getting the Sandra, even getting the Pyke support, who, as you said, is a pick support, and he's an even bigger kill pressure support than Thresh was. And
that is definitely something that can be very scary, considering how dominant the Hillerød bot lane was in last game. And Mess and Zyatejai still on the same picks. We'll have to see if it was them underperforming on them, maybe not feeling confident, or just the circumstance. However, right now we are going into the second phase of the picks. A lot of top laners have been removed, and Skarner picked for the Hillerød. I'm not picked, but hovered.
Yeah, this Skarner just would look even more into this pick potential of the Hillerød comp that we're seeing so far. And it is getting very scary to be a Lynx player. Ooh, the Nocturne works as well. So they are pretty lucky in the Nocturne. So that means that once again, Hillerød, or actually this time Hillerød, are going for a really strong pick comp. It's really scary to be a Lynx player right now, because do you take one step the wrong direction while Hillerød has vision on you, you're gonna be dead.
Yeah, Lynx now they have to pick their top laner and their jungler. What do they go for? That's a very strong pick composition, as I said. It is the Camille. That's an interesting pick, especially if it would go into the top lane. Could as well be flexing into the jungle. But yeah, I'm not going to say much until we see the last pick from Lynx, because I could be proven wrong very soon. However, it is a very strong pick composition from Hillerød. And if it is the Camille, alright, it will be the Camille jungle and Darius in the top lane. So tell me more about these champions.
So, it is the Camille jungle. Camille jungle is seen as a very strong pick lately. And definitely something not to joke around with. It gives them a little more early aggression than the Graves would have did. I think the Graves was a wrong pick, as he does work early aggressive, but he just didn't work against their comp. But this time it seems like they're getting for a little more early aggression in the Camille.
Alright, that's a Heimerdinger.
They're going probably the Heimerdinger bot lane. So Hillerød are just going for the dominance in the lanes again and saying, we're gonna dominate the lanes and we're gonna win the game. And it's gonna be a hard game for Lynx, but if they get this Camille to roll the different lanes, it can definitely work out.
Alright, then how do you think Lynx, anything apart from Camille trying to snowball the lanes, how do Lynx win this and bring us to game 3?
I believe that Lynx definitely has to say, okay, we have the Camille, that makes us more strong early than the Nocturne. Nocturne kind of has to wait for his level 6 to be that strong, scary. So let's just get the LeBlanc ahead, get the Darius ahead. I don't see much chance of ganking the Heimerdinger, but who knows, they might. So yeah, definitely this time Lynx are playing for the early game.
And Hillerød, do they try to go for the late game, or do they still try to get the early game advantages and repeat their last game achievement?
I'm saying Hillerød are going for the early to mid game. They want to just take the early game in their playstyle and roll it into the mid game and then win in the mid game.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna take us into a break shortly before we'll see whether Lynx can take the game off Hillerød and bring us the silver scrapes, or Hillerød, will they just take the 2-0? So see you soon. Alright, we are in the game right now, and we are seeing the game 2 of the series between Hillerød and Lynx, and we are already seeing, I mean not already, we are seeing the Heimerdinger bot lane.
What is Hillerød doing? What are they going for?
They're going for a 5-man top lane cheese invade, and no, because Kerem isn't here, we're not talking about cheeses, but I'm surprised.
Oh, that's actually bad. Nocturne's in the game.
Oh no. Anyways, Kerem isn't here, so we're not gonna talk about it. However, top lane, Hillerød, they are going just into that Tribush. I don't believe they have been spotted. I didn't toggle the vision, so I'm not entirely sure.
They have not yet been spotted. Ooh, are they gonna find Woofer?
Oh, Woofer, he is trying to make his way down there. Should spot them anytime now. He has seen them for sure. Tauber is charging the Bone Skewer, will not find it, but Hillerød, they love these early game plays. And what are we talking about early game? Top lane is where I am looking at for the action supported by the junglers.
Yeah, they indeed. Top lane are two very aggressive laners. Irelia and Darius. Definitely looking to play very aggressive. Meanwhile, Camille and Nocturne, they are aggressive as well. Nocturne probably gonna wait for his level 6. He can do some before, but I don't see him going for much. Meanwhile, Professor Genki, is he trying to run the same thing that Zero did against them last game? No, okay, no, he won't.
Alright. Well,
he will just go for the jungle. But actually, Mini is moving with Nunki towards the top lane.
Yeah, we're going to have to see Bonskier from Tauber does tag onto Mess. Mini is up in this top lane. He will be spotted on the ward from Flutter Water, and Darius will just back off. However, for now, since there is no action, I just want to tell you about something that I'm excited, and probably one of the only things I can colorcast about. So, I mean, close to colorcast about. Can you guess what it might be?
Tell us about the Heimer. Go for it.
Yes, it is the Heimerdinger. So basically, I love this champion mechanically wise, and I feel like it makes so much sense in this scenario right now, because as Heimerdinger, you want to just push the wave out and try to snowball the bot lane. Meanwhile, I believe in the top lane fight, I want to burn the flash. However, I'm just having my segment about the Heimerdinger right now. And literally the only way to punish a Heimerdinger that is already ahead and pushing like he is right now is to engage onto him. The problem with that is that Tauber on this pike will exert constant pressure, and if Shim can find this green ice like right now, then Mess and Zyatejai aren't really going to come forward. The thing as well is that you can poke with your Hextech Micro Rocket so efficiently, since you can just spread out the hitbox about halfway through before the enemy, and it's pretty much guaranteed to hit them unless they have these minions. So I'm just really excited to see if Shin will be able to play that big ride. And oh, that's so much damage onto Mess right now. Spell Shield will deny the Phantom Undertow, but now Tauber has to flash away. Really great headbutt under the turret. Will not be the kill, but now summing up my point about Heimerdinger, as Noki picks up the solo kill first back in the top lane, I will let you speak.
I think we don't have time to talk about Heimer at all.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
But if we do want to put focus in the bot lane, I actually do want to point out that Alistar is actually a really strong pick into this Pyke. If Pyke gets the Bone Skewer onto Alistar, Alistar can just knock him up and knock him under the tower. Because the Pyke Heimerdinger lane is a really push heavy one. They can't actually stop that pushing that lane. So they'll be close to the tower at all times. Tauber gets the Bone Skewer onto Zyatejai. Zyatejai will just push him into the tower. Maybe even knock him up in there. So there's not really much chance for Zyatejai for Tauber to get some proper hooks. But Zyatejai should just go and stand in the way of them.
And now that Tauber has no flash, he has to be even more careful, and that also means that this Heimerdinger pick could be punished right now with any sort of engage, since he barely has any mobility, and that is the way to punish. But moving away from the bot lane, because we're talking about top lane, then I kind of just went on my explanation of why I love Heimerdinger. Nonkey picked up the solo kill in the top lane on Irelia. We said that this matchup could be very explosive, and if he can snowball down, then it could return very dark very soon. But right now, he's the person getting collapsed upon ganking the top lane guy. Actually predicts the flash with the hook shot. Nonky's running very low, will not get taken down. Mini picks up the kill to try and nearly make sure he's alive. But now Flutter in a bad position. It will be 2 kills for 1 for the side of Hillerød.
Yeah, Knudsen did teleport in behind there. Meanwhile, Woofer doesn't have teleport, so he could do nothing, but... but he will just be taken down, so it's kind of problematic for him. He doesn't really know what to do about it. So yeah, he'll have to just take, like, try and push in the wave, push the tower, since he couldn't really teleport with him. That does mean they'll be getting 2 kills, which is, yeah.
Tauber, he's fishing for these hooks, but we just see how hard it is to play the pike into the Alistar. You really cannot hook the Alistar, and you really also cannot hook Mess, since he will be always either behind a minion or Zyatajai. But with these kills right now, it is a kill onto Knudsen and a kill onto Mini right now. And they find themselves with a 1500 gold lead. So how do Hillerød try and snowball it from here?
Well, Hillerød just gotta do what they did last game. They just gotta try and snowball, be aggressive, and go for the key targets. I do want to point out one thing, actually, right? Knudsen now officially has more kills than he did last game.
Right. Yeah, he did finish the game with 0, 0, and 9, so Hillerød already finding the improvements from a nearly perfect Storm. See, this team, they always know how to improve, but Lynx, also, I'm looking at them since they're not too far behind yet. They definitely
Lynx is definitely showing a more safe early game this time.
Yeah.
But Hillerød does also run different comp. They cannot just hammer onto the early game this time, and they know that. So Hillerød are just playing it more slowly, more controlled. Ooh, we're seeing them. I would say I had expected more rotations from the side of Tauber by this time. They did pick the Heimerdinger up onto Shim, which is a really strong solo laner. He can hold the lane with his turrets really easily. Meanwhile, Tauber could just have roamed towards mid, or even maybe roamed all the way towards top if that's what was needed.
And right now, we are seeing Hillerød slowly, yes, taking control over the game, but it is also an improvement coming in. That's actually so much damage onto Mess. Ignite is down as well as the heal. And Hillerød, they are still ahead. Lynx, yes, it's better than last game, but Lynx, they need to be proactive, make something happen if they don't want to end in the same position as they did.
Yeah, we are seeing, and actually I want to point out that so Mess has to watch out actually now. Tauber is soon hitting level 6. If they get the same damage into Mess again, it will be the kill from Tauber's ultimate. So yeah, really has to watch out for that bot lane. It is a really strong bot lane, and we did expect to see most of the aggression in top lane, but we've had to focus so much on bot lane because they've been doing a lot down there actually. But talking about the top lane aggression.
Yeah, there is a lot of back and forth training now. Donkey finds the Vanguard Sage. Flutter Wonder has to flash away. Donkey will just take a few turret shots and he will be content with getting the flash, with winning the trade, being already nearly 20 CS up in this top lane matchup and forcing Flutter under his own turret. But right now, Hillerød looks like they might want to set up for some sort of a bot lane dive. Meanwhile, in the top lane, Donkey gets 1v2 Hextech ultimate him under the turret. He has nowhere to run, gets dunked in the top lane. And now in the bot lane, Mini follows with the partner after a few lands onto Mess. The grenade bounces, picks up the kill, Shim getting it onto the Mess. And the frozen tomb onto Zyatajai, he has nowhere to run. Death from below misses, but it is a double kill for the Heimerdinger.
Yeah, so Shim does get 2 kills, but it actually is being a 2-for-2 trade here. They lost the top lane kill and they lost the mini on this, and they get Mess and Zyatajai down. But Hillerød is now doing the one thing that makes this way more worth for them. They're getting the tower. This is the first blood turret they're gonna get. It's gonna be so much more worth. Meanwhile, we're seeing Woofer. He's just having comfortable time in mid lane. He's not even out with... He's not roaming with Knudsen. He's just having a comfortable time mid lane. Yet he's still actually behind on CS. It is not that good. Like, he needs to, at least, if he's gonna let Knudsen free roam, he at least needs to get the farm, get the push in on the mid lane, try and get the tower down. Cause right now, they're just giving up. Like, Knudsen is just getting to free roam without getting punished for it at all.
And the Woofer does have the Ignite. This is the combat summoner. That means that he cannot really do that much about the map, but he should theoretically be finding these leads in the mid lane, and when he's not, that is a worrying sign for Lynx. And you know, when your solo laner that is meant to have the pressure advantage over the opposing laner is falling behind in CS and getting out-roamed, then Lynx, they really need to think of something really quick. Now the Dragon has been started for Hillerød. Lynx push in the bot lane wave, but decide that they will just back off. They don't even go to check it. And it is the Cloud Dragon secured.
Yeah, so right now Lynx are just giving up objectives. They're tired of dying, and they're rather just gonna want to give up objectives and not go for the fights. They're actually not that far behind. They can still go for some fights as long as they do them correctly.
Well, Knudsen now might find himself in the 1v2 Hextech ultimatum onto the Lissandra. He finds the SRG Frozen Tomb to buy some more time, has the flash available, decides not to use it. Paranoia comes in, actually does not decide to use it now, goes onto the Woofer's clone mini with an oof right there, but the fear will be flashed away from Woofer, so at least there is the flash. Genki going in with the hookshot onto Knudsen and will get taken down with the precision protocol. Now mini slow down with a tactical sweep, and looks like Lynx will be content with the pick they get.
So that was exactly what they needed. They needed to do trades like that, especially mini messing up the ultimate, the Paranoia ultimate onto the clone. That is huge for Lynx, and that is exactly what they need right now. They need for Hillerød to make some mistakes like this, and they need to capitalize on it.
Right now, however, Shim has been unlocked on the map, which is my only worry for Lynx in the current moment. Yes, Irelia might be scary in the late game, but if Shim on the Heimerdinger is just allowed to create pressure and take turrets, Lynx could find themselves in a very tricky situation.
Yeah, definitely. But I do believe they do want to still go for some scaling. They only picked this Camille for the early game, but if they scale, they're a really strong team. Problem is, you see the same thing on Hillerød. They pick the Nocturne for scaling, or for the early game, and then the rest of the team pretty much scales with him. So yeah,
that's a lot of damage onto Flutter on this Darius.
That is a lot of damage, yes. And it looks like they will be just going for the reverse, like...
Yeah, now a trade in the bot lane, Nonki going in with the Vanguard Stage as well as the Blade Surge. Woofer already 200 HP, but Nonki is low as well, so he has to be careful. Overall trade, a flash and ultimate for a lot of damage. So I would say if Woofer does not drop down, it is for the favor of Lyra. But right now in the top side river, alright, Genki will just hookshot over the wall and nothing will happen.
I do want to point out it's still Lynx playing, Lyra didn't start playing.
Oh yes, and Nonki does find this solo kill onto Woofer.
And meanwhile, the rest of his team is taking the Herald. And Woofer is playing it dangerous. He bought 2 Dark Seals. So he expects to get the kills and the assist, and it's just not happening right now. He got 1 from that 1 assist, and now he's back down to 0 stacks.
And that's not really what you want on a LeBlanc, so Lynx, they are still finding themselves at a deficit. This game does feel like it's more winnable than last game, but Hillerød are still firmly in control now. Flash forwards from Flattermore, they're in the bot lane. The Defiance try to stop something, knocks in Guillotine with the stacks. Will Nonki go down? No, the lifesteal does actually keep him alive for a while. Flattermore try to find anything, but Decimating Smash will secure the kill. Meanwhile, in the top lane, the turret falls in favor of Hillerød.
That was actually so close for Nonki to get away there. Had he just kept running instead of jumping back, he might actually have gotten away.
Well, he did not, unfortunately, but Hillerød still will be happy with the turret taken. They are 3000 gold ahead now. Tower does miss the Phantom Undertow, trying to zone Woofer away, force him to go elsewhere. Now the Herald will be summoned in the middle lane. Lynx are trying to respond to 3 members. Meanwhile, Woofer finding a 3-wheel chain onto Tauber will not fall up. The risk is just too great. The Herald will charge into the mid lane, and likely it will be the outer mid lane turret for Hillerød.
Yeah, so we're seeing definitely this game is going way slower than last game. Like, way slower. At this point, we already saw like 5 or 6
that's
towers.
A great ball skewer onto Genki. He just gets bursted down, Shim easily picking up the kill. Now Ziadajay might be the potential target, but Woofer on the backside is enough to convince Hillerød not to go for it. The Herald still is hammering away on the turret though, and this side is dropping dangerously low. The the grenade from Heimerdinger enough to zone the entire Lynx squad away. Woofer, I think you might want to get out of there, mate.
Yeah, Woofer, you're definitely on the wrong side of the map. You're playing the blue side this time, not the red side. And they are just going after him. They're just
Woofer. That's not really the distortion you want to take back. Knudsen picking up the kill.
Yeah, Woofer definitely had an oopsie there. He did not have the map. He didn't have the map awareness, and he didn't have the general wards down, so he couldn't actually see if he was jumping back into enemies. He thought all of them were still following him, and they clearly were not.
And right now, Hillerød, they still find themselves with a big gold lead. Just because of how big last game was, let us not underestimate it is still a 5.5k gold lead at 15 minutes. Shim once again ahead of Mess on the items. He has the Lunaseco working towards that Zonia's Hourglass, whereas only the Stormraiser has been completed. A similar story in the mid lane. And top lane, I feel like it's pretty even, but it is still the Tiamat and the Sheen for Nonki on the Revelia, so Hillerød still definitely in control of this game.
Yeah, right now they're just running like. So Mess getting that Stormraiser is actually kind of important for the fact that it will help him increase like his weight with his wave clear. He'll throw one single.
Oh, Genki, he might not be where he wants flash away to safety from the flawless duet. Now SRG does with the headbutt, and Hillerød will just retreat to get the Infernal Drake.
Yeah, so I was trying to say. So the Stormraiser is important because you'll throw down one ricochet down the wave, which will all crit because of Stormraiser, and then you just throw the Boomerang Blade, and that should be the wave. So it's really important for their wave clear that he has that item, and a really big part of them getting to scale. The more they can wave clear, the bigger chance there is for them to scale this game.
And the fact that Hillerød does not have a marksman means that their siege is actually worse than last game, meaning that the wave clear has time to get online.
Yeah, and it's actually really important as well, because you want to, as Sivir, you can take down these Heimatures with the Ricochet, actually. So you really want to try and get to that, to remove a lot of his damage right there.
On the hand has been used for Mess, now upper hand onto Tauber, but will just dash away to safety. Nonki getting knocked up under the turret, but flawless duet will be enough to deter any further attempt. Woofer is trying to get the turret in the top side, he has no teleport, so Lynx has to play it 4v5.
Yeah, so once again, we're actually seeing that Woofer, with him running this Ignite, is kind of dangerous. It makes sense in a kill pressure lane. Problem was he got up against Lissandra. There's no pressure for him to kill that lane. And now it's just being a big downside for them, not having that teleport on him as he is.
Alright, Genki goes on to Knudsen and does not allow him to get away. The Hextech ultimate seals his fate, but the teleport coming in from Nonki into the backside. Tauber in the Ghost Water Duck trying to find anything. Paranoia coming down. It goes onto the Mess Ship already on the Rapid SRG trying to knock up Mini, but the Great Shroud will get him to safety. It is just 1-for-1 trade in the end. Teleport invested from Nonki. And Lynx, they are not losing that much, as you would think.
Lynx is actually taking good favor of this. Like, we're seeing that Woofer's just staying top lane. He's pushing. He'll probably get the second tower, and...
Ooh, that's a nice boost square onto Mesk. He does have the spell shield, and the tower cannot get away. Great knockup, great CC from the team, and allows Flutter Wonder to pick up the kill.
I wonder whether that was miscommunication or not for Tower going in. He only had Nonki with him, and Nonki is strong, but I don't see them doing a 2v3 tower dive at this point.
It definitely not a tower dive, and we talked about how Hillerød will have a slightly worse siege, and it's still the wave clear on the Sivir. So if Lynx can just hold on and not lose too many kills, they have a very real chance of coming back in this game. How do you feel like these teams stack up against each other later on in this game?
So I feel like the scaling on this is very skill reliant. I feel like both teams have great scaling. And for the fighting, it can be kind of hard because we're seeing that, that Heimerdinger, if they go hard onto Heimerdinger, his turrets and a lot of his kit will allow him to be really strong. But if they're taking this long range, like more long range fights with the Sivir and just the fast jump in from the blank to burst someone out, the Heimerdinger can be really hard to scale with. Meanwhile, the Sivir damage gets so crazy for the scaling. So I feel like it's a very skill reliant matchup. Are we having you with us, Kashka? Kashka? Okay. So it seems like we lost our playcaster. Oh my god, Woofer, so much damage onto Shim, just taking him out immediately. Meanwhile, we're seeing the rest of the team. Okay, so we are getting a pause report of some mouse issues. We are just having a short break while we're waiting for that to get fixed.
Am I here now?
Welcome back, Kashka.
I actually have no idea what happened. I saw nothing. Probably my internet just messing up a little. Anyways, yeah, it is the pick found onto Woofer. Shim also dies in the process. And it is the pulse. However, 1-for-1 trades is a good thing for Lynx right now.
Especially with the shutdown you get onto... so Heimerdinger was a shutdown with 675 gold. All going to Woofer, which is huge at this point. If Woofer gets stuff like that, it means a lot. I think that both teams are ready to go back in, it seems like. So we will be getting in the game very fast, which is not an issue, which is very nice how fast this was resolved. And it's nice that we have our playcaster back.
Yeah. Just to confirm, I am back, yes?
You
I
are
am
back.
Okay, because I feel like in that team fight once I came back, then never mind. Anyways, the game might be unposted soon, but what is definitely sure, so yeah, we are going into the game. The Baron is live now, and Nonki does not have the teleport, and Flutter Wonder does. And I don't feel like Knudsen or Shim can really match him in the sideline. So Lynx, are they in a better position to take the Baron, or are Hillerød still more favored?
I feel like neither of them want to go for the Baron right now, because both teams are looking really strong. Both teams have strong fight potential in the correct scenarios. And if we see the LeBlanc bursting down a key target, or if we see Mist just getting to stand there firing away with the Ricochet and the Boomerang Blade, that can be so much damage. But at the same time, if Knudsen gets a good lockdown, if Shim gets a great bouncing grenade, it can also mean so much.
The full name is kind of long.
I'm gonna call it bouncing grenade. If he gets a great one, it can also be so huge and just turn the whole fight. Because if he gets a great bouncing grenade, we'll have a follow-up with the Nunky stun, with the Vanguard. We're gonna just... It's gonna be so much they can do if they get the one stun down. They can CC it for the rest of the fight.
Yeah, and missing that CH3X Lightning Grenade, just for anyone who's curious, is fairly easy in a team fight, especially when you're fighting in the river, since the hitbox on that is so huge and it bounces 3 times. Oh, now Shim is gonna get jumped on. Genki has the Haystack ultimatum, but Messi dropped down so low. Paranoia comes in and Mini picks up the kill. Now Genki does manage to get the return kill, so is the bot laner for the bot laner. Woofer is on the backside, goes onto the Mini, not yet actually, holds onto the distortion until now. Knudsen dealing out quite a bit of damage, but also damage is being returned towards him. Nonki is coming in there, Death from below misses, and Talbot does not have that for the rest of the fight. Meanwhile, Knudsen does actually get the kill onto Xianajai, and Nonki does find the Flores Druid stun onto the Woofer clone. Zhonya's used by Knudsen, and Genki will just burn down to the Ignite. Overall, I think it is a 2-for-1 in favor of Hillerød.
Yeah, so it's in favor of Hillerød, but we're definitely seeing better fight from Lynx. Not only this game, but like in general, we're seeing them getting them better fights this time. It's not in their favor, but they're definitely showing that they're not out of this game yet. We're seeing that they can do great damage, and Genki is actually doing a really good job right now.
He is, however, that fight, if it emphasized anything, is that Hillerød are still pretty much in the lead, as well as Lynx having opportunity to come back. I feel like this fight was really well set up by Lynx, yet still Hillerød managed to come out on top, so the team of Lynx, they really need to be careful. And now Woofer, that is the pick that is really huge. I was just about to say they really need to work on the picks, get the ones they needed, and they do exactly that.
That is like... So Lynx right now just want to play around Woofer. Woofer needs to take out key targets like he just did there, because he does have so much damage that he can just burst out. And if you get stuff like that, it is huge for them. Because Hillerød is now looking at a... They're basically looking at a 4v5 where there's not much for them to do. Like, it's not like they are gonna lose, but they don't want to look for these fights. It's risky fights, and you don't want to play risky at this point. So we just see Lynx just starting a little shaky Baron, not really going too much for it, just testing the waters, see if they could.
I just realized I missed my key binding and I was speaking for all this time. Anyways, that does force the teleport out of Shim. I do assume that he will be regrouping with the rest of the team, so maybe won't be that impactful, but it is still a teleport force nevertheless.
Yeah, it's a teleport force. They still have. So on the side of, I actually didn't even emphasize this earlier, but on the side of Hillerød, we have 3 teleports. So losing 1 teleport is not that huge, huge deal for them, as they will just send another person in the side lane then.
And Nonkey on the Irelia definitely can contest Flutter Wonder. Flutter Wonder does have the item advantage, but with the Righteous Glory, it looks like he's thinking about the team fights more than the 1v1. Although still Darius is very strong and can solo kill the Irelia. We're going to have to see how this solo lane will develop.
Yeah, and we did see that right there, that Mess, he did the wave clear as we talked about, and it is really strong right now. And he just want to keep doing that, because it is actually really hard for Hillerød to look for something when he just keeps wave clearing so fast.
And right now, Hillerød, the only option for them to move this game forward is to get the Baron. That's why Lynx are putting so much time over there, try and make sure that, even if they're not gonna get the Baron, at least make sure that Hillerød are not gonna get the setup.
Yeah. Oh, Nonkey's looking for something.
Nonkey does find the flawless duet into the Vanguard Switch. That's a lot of damage. Flutter Wonder tries to find anything, but just cannot. And it is the shutdown. Nonkey picking up the solo kill in the sideline.
Yeah. So, and meanwhile, Woofer is finding... Okay, so Woofer and Clusen just swap places.
Yes, and now Woofer can just run away because he's on that LeBlanc. But that solo kill does mean that Hillerød now might get their setup they wanted.
This means a setup for Baron. Perfectly. Nonkey even has a teleport. So, and even if Flutter is to come alive during this time, which is not, it's too long at that time, but if it was, he doesn't have the teleport, he wouldn't be able to get there in time.
SRG goes into the pit, and so does Genki. He goes in with the Hexel Tomato, but he just gets dropped down. Meanwhile, Woofer picks the kill onto Talbot. Genki is still alive. Minik picks up the kill to Mess. That is huge. Woofer will drop down as well. And the carries for Lynx have fallen. Turret in the bot lane has been taken. It is a 3-for-1. Genki, the only person alive. Flutter Wonder now respawn. Will deal with it in the bot side. Genki, he will still stay behind that Baron, but Shimdasigim finds the kill with the Mike for Rockets, and it is the Baron for Hillerød.
Yeah, the question is, are they still gonna go for this Baron? They're so low. They have no real tank frontliners.
That is true. I did get ahead of myself right there. The HP is running very low. They are trying to utilize the Heimerdinger turrets, but teleport will be invested from Nonkey.
Mini does fall down though.
Yeah, Mini is executed. Not the cleanest Baron, but with Nonkey right here, they should take it nevertheless.
So that did cost them... That actually ended up costing them the teleport, because they were a little too eager for this Baron. It ended up costing them Mini, so he doesn't have the Baron buff, and they had to use the teleport from Nonkey to make sure they get this Baron buff as well.
That did cost quite a lot more than they should have, but nevertheless, Hillerød, they get the Baron buff, so they can actually try and lay siege against that Sivir, and they are finding themselves with a 8.5k gold advantage. The problem I have is that they really need to utilize this Baron, because without it, Message is gonna clear out every single wave.
Yeah, they are definitely very eager for... They're very eager for these, for pushing now, because Mess cannot clear as fast anymore against Baron powered minions. They're just not gonna fall down to his combo. So the push potential is definitely way stronger, and you just want to do this. Like, you want to push, and really just get the base down. And
now one way through which Hillerød can do this is through Nonkey. He did find the solo kill on Flutter Wonder before. That does mean that he has the advantage in the side lane, and if he can pull that off again, then this could be the go sign for Hillerød, and they need to rely on some sort of external pressure, if not the Baron, since they are still struggling to close in, even with the Baron buff. Now bot lane is pushing towards Lynx, so they will find a point of pressure finally. But I am just I'm just wondering at which point does Lynx become just too hard to deal with, and how do Hillerød want to close this out, because they seem to be just looking around with this lead, not knowing how to use it.
They definitely have to close out soon. Ooh.
Woofer now in the stopwatch, tries to dodge away, but he just cannot. Knudsen finds the solo kill he's on the rampage, and this might have just answered my question.
Yeah, so Frozen Tomb did so much right there. That is, like, that's why Woofer just got taken out. He would have gone if it wasn't for the Frozen Tomb. And that actually means a lot. Meanwhile, Meaty takes this free dragon, cause why not? It's free and it's an Infernal.
Now it is the double Infernal as well.
Ooh.
Flutter Wonder goes in slow onto Tauber. He just gets stunned up. That's a huge CHCX lightning grenade. She finds everyone. Finds one kill. Mess falls down to Nonki. Xianajai tries to run away, but he just cannot. Nonki finds the double kill. That will be the inhibitor that Nonki flashes forward onto Genki. Genki tries to get away with the hook shot. The stun does not connect. Nonki has no flash, but Genki has nowhere to run. The Blade Surge gets the kill. Woofer in the base, trying to look to make anything happen. Inhibitor will fall down, and Hillerød, they might just found the series.
Yeah, this is looking great for them. They had the push with them. They still have the Baron buff.
Woofer goes in, but the Zonia's from Shim denies any assassination potential, and Nonki completes the ace. It's still 8 seconds on this, and I don't think that there is anything that can stop Hillerød.
The GG's coming out.
The game 2, and they will take the 2-0 win.
Yeah, congratulations to Hillerød. They did take the 2-0, and that was such a great way to end this series. They played that so well, getting that Baron buff and really showing their strength.
And both of these games have been very clean. I feel like, at least for me, the perception of the second game has been overshadowed by the utter dominance they showed in game 1. But nevertheless, it was 2 clean games that got Hillerød the 2-0 over Lynx today. And we talked about how they want to get turned away from that unfortunate loss in week 1. And this is pretty much exactly what they needed.
Yeah, this was just what they needed. Meanwhile, it's definitely not what you need as a Lynx player. You had this happen to you against the Topaz team, and you have it happening to you again. It is something that, if you're not experienced with this kind of stuff, it will hit you. I hope for them that they aren't gonna get hit by it and are just gonna power through this. But we'll see.
You will definitely see. And right now, Hillerød, they put themselves on the board with a 2-0 win. That does give them 3 points. I'm not exactly sure about how the standings are right now. I'm not sure if we even have a graphic for that. But, you know, week 3, you start to think about these points slightly more. And getting 3 points in a win is only a good thing. Yeah, I mean...
There is the all-important question, though, Kaska. You know, the one that we always get from Colorpoint, and I think we should ask ourselves at this time.
Alright, what is this question?
Who are the MVPs?
Alright, well, because you asked this question, that has put me in a position to answer it first.
Yes!
Yes, outplayed. Oh well, so, Hillerød, second game, I feel like everyone really stepped up. I liked the roams from Knudsen, and how Mini pretty much also snowballed it, as well as Nonki in the split push potential. Bot lane in the second game wasn't really as much of a factor as in the first game, and that leaves me with a very hard choice, because in the first game it was Tauber and Shim that were the guys who carried the game. However, I'm always gonna go with the more how I say overall, although I have been accused of recency bias, not really too wrongly. I will go with Tauber for Hillerød, just because of his beautiful game 1 play. And on the pike, even though it wasn't as impactful, he still did well. And on the other side, Lynx, I think that I will go with Genki for a number of reasons. So first of all, he didn't really play that badly in game 1. He did find some early game counter kills. Like out of the 5 kills, I feel like he was the reason for quite a few of them. And in the second game, he was the person in the mid game that was finding these picks. So I'm going with Genki for Lynx and Tauber for Hillerød. So now, Milo, your turn.
Yeah, okay, so first rounds for Hillerød, I'm gonna go with Nonki. he did really well as Aurelia this time. He went on hard. He really showed that he was like strong. And in the first game on the Poppy, we didn't give him much focus, but my God, did he play that well? He nearly killed the. He nearly got the kill on SRG in a 1v3. He still got away alive with the help from Tower, yes. But like, I gotta give Nunky did so great both games, so I gotta give that to Nunky. And I gotta go for Woofer, I actually would say. So I feel like Lynx had a really hard time. He didn't really know. They didn't have a really big counterplay to this team they were against. But I feel like Woofer was the one who had the most to show against this team. He was the one who kinda said, seemed like he was through the game kinda said, okay guys, it's not going too well, but let's keep on trying. He got some solo kills here and there, and yeah, he did amazingly.
Well, I feel like it is the first time in Division 1 that due to the casters having different perceptions and opinions of the game, we actually have 4 different MVP candidate votes for this game, which is a good thing, I guess. Also, I talked a little earlier about the standings.
Yes.
I have been updated by Color Point, and I right now see that this win does mean that that Hillerød are exequo in 3rd place with Topaz and Larva sitting on 3 points. So, with how tight the Division 1 standings are, this win is definitely helpful. And Lynx are now sitting just below them. So standings wise, I feel like we are entering a very interesting stage of the split, especially if you look at the matches that are to come.
Yeah, so we're definitely gonna see some. We're gonna see some of the higher team. Like, so we're seeing Hydra still hasn't dropped a game yet. They're still 2-0 in both series they've played so far, and I feel like they're really a powerhouse to be reckoned with. And we're gonna see them taking on a lot. Like, we're gonna see them taking on Lyra, for example, later this week. They're still to take on Lynx, and like, there's still a lot of teams to be taken on by Hydra, who's the really power team right now. And just generally, we're seeing it being, as you said, very even. It's a 3-way split on the 3rd place. That is not to be expected. Like, that is incredible.
Yeah, we are only in week 3, so the standings start to shape up. Just an update on Division 2. The TLF the Phoenix and TLF T2 are currently having a match. Right now, apparently, T2 is 1-0 over the Phoenix. I think I saw someone in the Twitch chat say that quite a while earlier, so yes. I assume we are late into the 2nd game. So yeah, I just want to talk about the upcoming matches this week. So tomorrow we've got CFUS versus TLF T4 in the Division 2. So do you think that is something interesting that we could look forward to?
So, I'm actually just getting the second screen. It actually is 1-1 now in the other game.
Alright.
Phoenix did take the game 2 over T2. So yeah, tomorrow. Sorry to interrupt you on that point. So yeah, tomorrow you're talking about the Division 2 match tomorrow. I definitely believe it'll be worth watching. Division 2 has been a very decisive division so far in order of points. And tomorrow we are going to see the CFUS T4. We're going to see CFUS again. We saw them playing against T2 where they had a very decisive win. So I think it's going to be good to see if CFUS can keep that, or if T4 is going to come out swinging, because they still haven't picked up a game yet.
Yeah, now jumping into the Division 2, on Thursday we will see Draco versus Topaz. And if you look, just to remind you of the standings, right now Draco are in the 2nd place with 4 points, and Topaz are in that 3-way tie for 3rd with 3 points. With how close this game is, that is definitely a game to pay a lot of. I mean, the standings are. That is definitely a game to pay attention to.
Yes. So we're definitely expecting to see that, like, or at least I would say there you're gonna expect to see a close game, and whoever pretty much wins that, like, so basically Topaz can win that game and take over there and actually end up even with Draco. If it goes 2-1 to Topaz, they'll be even with Draco suddenly, because they'll both be sitting at 5 points. If Topaz wins at 2-0, they're ahead of Draco, and if Draco wins it 2-0, or 2-1, they're pointing in their spot as the second team right now.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of teams to watch, and we are having our schedule for the week down in the description of the Twitch chat. We are having the upcoming matches written, and we are also having down there. We're having our Discord, our Twitter, our Facebook. Feel free to follow us on all of those to keep updated. We are also streaming on Facebook, and we're also streaming on our YouTube channel. And be sure to also check out our Battlefire, where we will have tournaments in between splits.
Yes, we will. So that is pretty much everything for us today, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Alright then, yeah, as Milo said, don't forget to follow us in all of these places, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, I guess. Join us in the Discord, and we will see you tomorrow in the Division 2 match, so see you then.